Florian Wirtz to Liverpool. Here we go. I know many people doubted, but
Who are the people that doubted?
you guys, you're one of the people that doubted. I'm sure you did not believe that Florian would finally, come to Liverpool. But now he's here. So here we go.
As far I didn't really doubt. As far as Chelsea is not involved with you guys will get the guy. If we enter
Like,
that, if we enter the race,
why do
then
you
I know
feel
that
like why do you
there's a
feel
problem.
like why do you feel like Chelsea would have made a difference?
Yeah, because you guys have you won any deal you've entered into with us? Any transfers you've competed with us in? You've not won any.
But it doesn't matter.
It matters. Nobody was dragging him with you.
Man City
The
were in
only
the race. Man City were in the race
yeah,
for Florian.
yeah, but the money was too much for Man City, right? Man
Mm-hmm.
City are trying to buy a whole squad.
Yeah.
So why would they now spend 150 million on one player? When Pep's thinking is I can buy 3 people that would improve my squad more than just having Florian Wirtz.
Mm-hmm.
If it was 80 million, he might have gone for it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get? But 150 is like no. They spent almost 330 something million from January transfer and this transfer.
Mm-hmm.
Right, this transfer alone, they've added like 3 people. I think it's three.
They've added 3 people, yes.
Three. In the previous one, they added 4.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so they spent close to like 320.
Mm-hmm.
Off the top of my head, I've not calculated, but it's about 320.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so
So do you feel 150 million is a lot for Florian?
for one player, just waste. I rather spend. Okay, let's have this debate, right? Would it have been better for Liverpool to go for Isak, spend 120 on Isak? 120 will be enough to get Isak. You agree?
Yeah, I agree. 120 is enough to get Isak. Yeah.
120 for Isak or 150 for Florian Wirtz. Which one would you have preferred?
It's so difficult to have me choose because I like Isak. I actually like Isak, so it's a very difficult question for me to choose between Isak and Florian. But then you have to think of the player. Florian has a lot to offer in different positions he plays in. For example, he
Okay.
could play as a 10, he could play as
Mm.
a left winger, he could
Yeah,
play as a false 9.
yeah,
I know Isak technically could give us these things, but then you look at the versatility of the forwards that we have at Liverpool. I feel like we
yeah.
work with these kind of versatile forwards that they could fit into any position and
Any
still cook.
position.
And that's the problem, right? If you get Isak for 120 million, what's
Yeah,
the guarantee that he's going to really add more to different positions? But Florian would. Maybe 150 million is a lot in terms of the pricing. 150
yeah.
million definitely is a lot. But then when it comes down to it, right, there's
Mm.
a lot that he offers to the team.
I'm like, if you ask me to choose between having Isak for 120 million and
Yeah.
Florian Wirtz for 150, I'll go for Isak. I don't
Why?
care who the yes, I don't care who the
Why
player
why
is.
Isak why Isak over Florian? Is it because of
I will
Premier League proven ability,
I
like
will
his
choose
Premier League
Isak
proven
because Isak scores goals.
and his Premier League proven?
Yes, and he scores goals. That's the main thing, right? And you already have wingers. You have someone that can play as a 10. You just need
Mm-hmm.
somebody to put the ball at the back of the net.
Mm-hmm.
Even what's his name? Luis Diaz can play as a 10.
But he's
He
not an
might not be
effective
suited.
10. He's not
Yeah,
an
he might
effective
not.
10. At the end of the
Yeah,
day, we're looking for best fits, right? Do you think Luis Diaz best fits as a 10? No. Do you
no,
think
he's not best fit as a 10. But what I'm saying is that you can still make things work. Do you
with
get?
Isak?
You could have even, what would have been best if you asked me to advise you guys. Do you know what I would advise you guys? Rather than spend 150 million on Florian Wirtz, why don't you spend 120 on or 120 on Isak
Mm-hmm.
and spend 35 on Ryan Shoki and Sheki?
Ryan Cherki.
Yes.
Why? We don't need
Yeah,
him.
because he can play as a 10. Then you have a good striker in front. That's good use of money. right?
What is
Rather
the
than
what is the concern with this? You it feels like you specifically have a concern with
I'm a
Florian.
bit concerned because the Premier League is I don't know.
You think
This
he's
one
going to flop?
it bother anyways. He's not the fair. He's the 10th, about the 10th player that is being bought for above 100 million, if I'm right.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Let's maybe we should go back and recount all of them.
To
See
see.
where they are currently.
Mm-hmm.
Where they are currently.
Mm-hmm.
Um
Who was signed for 100 million? Enzo Fernandez was signed for over 100 million.
there are many of let's just let me see,
Caicedo
10
Caicedo
players. I
was
think
signed
there
for
are
over
10.
100 million.
Yeah,
Who else?
10 players to sign for. Bellingham is there.
Declan,
Declan above
Declan
100
Rice.
million.
Yeah, Declan Rice was over 100 right? Including add-ons and everything. That was over
Okay.
100 million. Mm-hmm.
So who are the people? I'm just 10 players. 10 players, 100 million. Okay, I have the list. No, 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 no. I don't have this list, but I know there are 10 of them. 10 players to sign for more than 100 million. Let me just see if I'll find it. I had the list before. Anyways, the few people I can mention, I know Jude Bellingham went for above 100. Caicedo went for above 100. Fernandez went for above 100.
Mm-hmm.
Um, 100 million. I'm still checking. But anyways, let's start from the ones we know. Jude
Mm-hmm.
Bellingham has been good. Okay, I have the list now. I have the list. Darwin,
What's the list?
no, Darwin Nunes was not more than 100 million. What is this? What are these people listing?
How much was that Nunez for? Nunez was like 90 something million, right?
Yeah, I'm having on the list. I have Neymar, 222 million.
Would
Flopped,
you say Neymar flopped at PSG?
flopped. Eh, yes and no. He didn't really see when he was fit. He didn't flop. I don't believe he flopped. But the problem with Neymar was staying fit.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get?
Being injury prone.
Yeah, the talent Neymar has is just too much. Like next to Messi, you can put Neymar there because they had the same ability. No, no, no,
No.
no. What I mean
Next to
is
Messi is a reach.
no,
Neymar
no,
next
no.
to Messi, no.
What I mean is
Mm-hmm.
if Neymar, I'll put the condition there. If Neymar took his football as serious as Messi,
He could have been almost as good.
yes, approximately Messi will still be higher than him, but let's say approximately the same level. If Neymar took
Yeah.
his football serious and training, Messi takes football serious.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't. I know he doesn't just play for fun. No, Messi takes it serious. Even you see his face on the pitch. You see him every move he's making. He's serious about it. Neymar is just about a game. Oh, let's swagger, let's dribble, let's. Do you get street
But that's
football?
entertaining football, right? You talk about Samba football all the time.
I know
Neymar
I talk
had
about. I know I
Samba
talk.
in him.
Yes, I know I talk about Samba football,
Mm-hmm.
but I just feel like if there was an element of seriousness, even in training, your lifestyle, this injury he's been having. When Dembele was always injured,
Mm-hmm.
he was always injured in Barca. In fact, he was never fit. You remember?
Yeah, I
And I
do.
told you the story that Dembele was always playing PS
Mm-hmm.
or FIFA rather till 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Then he goes to bed. Then he wake up, go late for training. That was He was not getting enough sleep. In turn, it triggers him, his performance injury like that. We
Yeah,
don't know
that
if
affects
Neymar
him.
had that same lifestyle, right? So that's Neymar. Let's put Neymar aside.
But I don't
Mbappe.
think he completely flopped at PSG.
No,
Maybe
I
I
didn't
think
say
with,
it. No, I
I
didn't
think with
say it.
Neymar, maybe there was a lot of expectations that people had in terms of the
Yes.
potential, like given
That's
the
why I
amount of
said yes
potential.
and no.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said yes, and that's why I said no. So
Okay.
he didn't flop. Yes, he didn't. No, he didn't flop in the sense that when he played, he
Yeah.
played. I hardly, maybe you hardly count a game that Neymar had a terrible game, because there was always something about him, right? Always trying to make things happen. But at the same time, when you are not always fit, you
It kind
struggle
of
with
affects you.
fitness.
It affects
Yeah,
your
see
performance.
Eden Hazard.
Mm.
Do you get what I'm saying? You talk about Mbappe,
Are
180
you listening
million.
are you giving the list of players that we signed for over 100 million? Is that what you're
That's what
doing?
I'm listing.
Who is the
Yeah,
next player you're talking about?
Mbappe is next.
Mbappe is not a flop in any way, right?
No, he's not. No,
Yeah.
for price that he's not. He's not.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, he went from from Monaco to PSG. Was he 180 million?
Mm-hmm.
Real Madrid got him for free. We all forget.
And the way that pained
Ah,
PSG,
he pained me. He
said
pained
that
me
the fact that they
also.
had to let
He,
Mbappe go for free.
he pained me also
The
that he had to go
same
for
thing with
free.
Liverpool fans and Trent, right? Like
Yeah.
the fact that
So
we had to let Trent go for free. And, well, not super free because they paid the 10 million
yeah,
pound
just
fee.
to participate in Club
Yeah,
World Cup
just to
with the
kind of like
something.
appease
With
the club,
something.
so we don't get too pissed.
Hello, Doka.
He left us for free,
Yeah.
basically. So I
So
think that kind of affects fans. Yeah,
number three on that list.
is
Do you
who?
know number three on that list?
Mm-hmm.
Philip Coutinho.
From Liverpool to is it Liverpool to Barcelona?
Yes.
Was that the transfer? But he didn't
Yeah.
really live up to expectation at Barcelona, right? I don't think he lived up to
Um,
expectation that much.
no, not really. Not
Um,
really.
so would you call him a flop?
He flopped. He actually
I
flopped.
based on what was expected from him, I don't
Yeah.
feel like he delivered at Barca.
Mm,
I don't feel like he delivered at Barca. I would call him a flop, in my own opinion. But you guys let
mm,
us know in the chat if you think he's a flop. But I still feel like based on his spell at
mm,
Barcelona,
mm,
he just yeah. If you look at like his performance,
mm.
he just didn't to me he just didn't do enough.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I think.
So we're actually talking about players that went for above 100 million
Million.
pounds. Let's
And
be clear.
ended up and if they flopped and if they
Yes.
didn't flop.
If we say euros,
Mm-hmm.
then Florian Wirtz is number 15. But pounds, Florian Wirtz is 10. So we're talking of pounds. So let's keep it at pounds.
So
Right?
just the
So
top 10, right?
top 10, yes, pounds,
Okay.
100, above 100 million pounds, right?
Okay.
So number three is Coutinho.
Mm-hmm. Flop.
Coutinho went for, that's the third. I'm not talking of third high. Okay, should we go in terms of the pricing?
No, let's just go to all 10. All 10. Let's just go to
Okay,
the next
I
person.
thought Jude
After
Bellingham was more than 100 million.
after Coutinho, who is next?
I'm coming, Jude Bellingham. I'm just coming. And after Coutinho, we have Joao Felix.
From where to where? Who signed Joao Felix for 100 million pounds?
Atletico Madrid, you remember?
They signed Joao Felix for 100 million pounds.
112 million pounds.
Joao Felix.
Yes.
What about Joao Felix is 100 million pounds?
Then he was from Benfica. He was
What
then he
about
was
what about him is 100 million pounds? Now his current form, I can't believe he actually went for that.
he did. He did. So what would you say?
I would say flop. Oh, what would you say? What would you say?
Flop. Big time flop. Big time flop.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say big time.
Really, a really
Oh my
embarrassing flop.
days.
That's what he was.
It's too bad. It's too bad.
Right?
It's too bad.
Right?
Yeah, too bad.
So you talk the next person on that list.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
Is
Who's the
Enzo
next?
Fernandez from Benfica to Chelsea. And I think we discussed about Enzo Fernandez yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before?
it
Was it
was
yesterday?
was it yesterday? It was day
I think it
before.
was the
It
stream
was, it
before.
was day before yesterday. It was day before
Yeah,
yesterday.
so
So
we can.
flop
I won't say Enzo is a flop.
because you're a Chelsea fan. Because
No,
you're a Chelsea fan. I think that's
no,
why you
no,
will not say it's a flop.
no,
Because
no,
you're
no.
a
It's
Chelsea
not
fan.
that.
But,
No, he's
but
not.
if you're assessing what a flop
Yeah,
is their
he's
player
not.
living up to 100 million?
He's not a flop.
We're not
When you
saying
talk
we're not
about
saying
okay,
you're
when we
playing
talk about
well.
flop, no. When we talk about flop, you look at Felix and we all say, "Oh, this guy is a flop," meaning that he didn't just work out.
Yeah.
He didn't play well. But you can't say that of Enzo Fernandez because throughout he came 6 months into the end of one season, which was a crisis season. He was extreme. Remember the game we played with you guys? It was extremely good. That first half.
Pochettino season?
No, not Pochettino. I mean the first 6 months. You know, we signed him in January.
I actually thought the game Liverpool played with Chelsea when Pochettino was the coach.
So that was not his first game.
I thought that was the match you were talking. I thought that was the match you were talking about because he performed really well in that game.
Yeah. So he played 6 months before that game.
Okay.
So the 6 months we saw like he was crazy. Then we were using him in a 4-3-3. Right?
And he was what?
He was like a deep like a Pelo, a deep line playmaker.
Okay.
He played well. Right? He played well. Pochettino came terrible. And why I say Pochettino did not use, and I keep saying this thing, people don't believe, but Pochettino did not use him well. His development stagnated for 1 full year.
But what's Enzo supposed to play as?
According to Enzo's father. No. I'm just telling you.
According to what his father was saying, Enzo should be a 10. Enzo should be up front.
Enzo should play further forward.
So what Enzo to you?
As an 8, he's better as an 8 than you use him as a 4.
8 to me is box to box.
Yes.
So Enzo is a box to box midfielder.
Enzo is a box to box midfielder.
Wait, before we go forward, Enzo is not just a box to box midfielder. You guys are listening across the platforms. Listen, Enzo is $100 million box to box midfielder. So if you're telling me that Enzo is $100 million, okay, pounds. If it was, if Enzo is $100 million box to box midfielder, you have to compare Enzo to another £100 million box to box midfielder. And I brought some on the live. I remember I brought examples. I brought Declan Rice. You cannot compare the two. You cannot compare Declan Rice and Enzo Fernandez.
Look at Enzo's stats and his contribution this season. To me, if you ask me as a Chelsea fan, this season is Enzo's first. If you ask, he's been at Chelsea for 2.5 years, right? But this season is Enzo's first real season under a manager that is helping him grow. He's a young player.
So we should start assessing him from this season.
From this season that just passed, this season that we just passed, is when you can really say his development like really kicked out. Because the first 6 months, Chelsea were in crisis. Nobody knew what these new owners came in. The first 6 months, he was good. But there was no, Lampard was our manager, won only one game. Do you get what I'm saying? We had Potter. Potter had thousands of players in the dressing room. Enzo was just one of the fishes in the pond. Madueke came in during that period that Enzo came in. Right? That first 6 months was a disaster. He was the only light Chelsea had. Do you get? But Pochettino comes in, uses him the wrong way. And it's evident Pochettino now has gone to the US national team. I don't think they've won a game. They've lost 4 straight matches. People that are going to host the World Cup. Yes, 4 straight games.
Well, this is not about Pochettino. This is about Enzo.
So to me, yes, but to me, Amazi 4-7.
Yeah, Florian is a generational talent. The German continue, but even better, do you guys think Wirtz and Salah can carry FC, or do we need a top striker? I still think we need a striker. I still think we need a top striker. But then when they said they were going to go for this guy from Brighton, what's his name? Joao Pedro. I thought, wow, okay, you get Joao Pedro. You pair Joao Pedro up front. Those were rumors, right? You pair Joao Pedro up front. Florian just sits behind him as the 10. And you have Salah on this side and maybe Gakpo or even Luis Diaz or whatever options we have on the left wing. And you tell me that that's the way we line up, I'm super confident we're smoking a lot of teams.
Really good, really good.
I'm
Joao
super
Pedro is a
confident.
very good addition.
Super confident. Joao Pedro is a techie striker. He can score. He
Yeah,
can carry the
very
ball.
good.
And you have
Very
Florian
good.
just right behind.
Yeah.
We're going to win a lot of games. But then relying on Luis Diaz is probably going to play as our 9. I don't know what's going to happen to Nunes. There was a bid for Nunes from Al Nassr that got rejected. I think Al Nassr said the price is too high. Maybe they want Liverpool to reduce the price because Liverpool wants to sell Nunes for 70 million.
No, that's too much. No.
Or euros, pounds or euros, one of the two.
If you see
for Nunes that cannot consistently give you 15 plus goals in a season, that's outrageous.
If you see 40 million for Nunes, take it. Take it and just the person that gave you, just dust the check and say, well done, bro.
What do you call it? 40 million pounds? 40 million pounds?
Yes.
Nah, but Nunes is more like a 50 million pounds and above, bro.
For Nunes.
He's a chaos merchant. He's a chaos merchant. He's very suitable for it. I think the problem is Nunes
is the league. It might even be the league affecting him.
He's not. I just think he has a confidence issue. And number 2, it's just like he has so many parts of his game that is so good, but he just cannot just give the right output. Because the expectation of a striker is you should have a lot more goals and you should be a lot more clinical. You can't be the 9 in a team and you cannot give 15 plus goals a season. I feel like that's too poor.
And that's the reason why
the top team
40 million is okay for him. Is enough.
FSG have to find a way to make back this Florian 150 million.
They should forget about that Florian money. Is gone.
Florian 150 million. We have to look for a way to sell some players.
Let's continue on our list. We're on a list. 100 million pounds players, 10 of them, right? Yeah. And we concluded. We said Neymar. We can't say he's a flop. He's okay.
No.
Kylian Mbappe, never a flop. Coutinho, 100% flop. Joao Felix, 100% flop. Yeah. Then Enzo Fernandez, we're just like, he's not a flop.
Fernandez, I'm not going to say all the way flop, but I'm still hesitant. I feel like next season, if he does what he did this season, then he's not even more, then I'll say he's not a flop. But if he cannot live up to what he did this past season,
I will still say he's not a flop. We can't conclude and say he's a flop.
This season I just ended is his second season at Chelsea. Second full season at Chelsea.
Second full season, but the first one was you can scrap that because Pochettino.
You guys are hearing on the live. He said the first season under Pochettino, he wasn't playing well. Pochettino did not play well. So if Enzo Fernandez does not perform next season, I will say he's a flop.
Yes, you say he's a flop, and I will agree with
you. The club.
Yes, I will agree with you.
Okay, fair.
Okay, let's move to it. So Griezmann is next on this list. 107 million. Yes. 107 million pounds. Listen, he went from Atletico Madrid to Barca for 107 million pounds. He was a flop in Barca because I watched majority of his game in Champions League. He just felt like he left his boots at Atletico Madrid, and in Barca he could not even kick a ball.
I don't know. There's just something like Griezmann at Atletico feels better than Griezmann at Barca.
Yes,
because Griezmann at Atletico is just. He's just crazy.
He was poor in Barca. Do you get? He was not Griezmann that we knew. Then he left Barca and went back to Atletico. They started scoring again. Started cooking. Right? But for the purpose of this argument, but from Atletico to Barca for 107 million pounds, he was a flop at Barca. But during his time at Atletico, he was good. He's still good.
Okay, fair.
Do you get? So that transfer in itself to Barca was a flop.
Yeah.
So we can say, yeah.
We can say
so
that.
The next person on this list, this one will be really controversial. Do you know the next person on this list?
Who is the next person?
The person is in England.
Okay.
Guess. I want you to guess. This one is for 100 million pounds.
100 million pounds.
Grealish.
Jack Grealish.
Yes, 100 million pounds.
Wait. Man City signed Jack Grealish for 100 million pounds?
Yes.
But to be fair, the Jack Grealish as Aston Villa 100 mil.
Kingsley, we're not
But
talking. We're not.
remember, we've been having this conversation about English players and how it feels like they are overpriced.
Yeah.
So do you really blame Jack Grealish for his performance at City, or do you blame Pep Guardiola? Because Pep turned Grealish into what Grealish is now.
Wait, we're having an argument,
Just
and
the same way no, I understand, but just the same way you mentioned Enzo Fernandez.
Okay, yes, I can argue that. Pep Guardiola did not use Grealish well.
Yeah.
The same argument I have for Enzo Fernandez first season, Pochettino not using him well. I can have that same argument about Grealish.
Yes, 100%.
The man did not, because Grealish was playing as a 10.
There was more to come from Grealish.
Free, but it was more or less like free roll. Bro was good to do anything he wanted. Like dribble pass player, just be yourself. Be Grealish.
Yeah.
Be Jack. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man City felt like he's restricted. You have to go certain way, dribble to the byline, or you just win free kicks.
Yeah.
Do you get?
It's almost like that Pep system kind of like fitting into his box.
Yes.
And like Pep just like kept him in that box and just closed the box. So you cannot really blame Grealish for his performance. And I actually think most of you might disagree with me, fair, but I actually feel like Grealish was quite instrumental to their treble season.
Even their treble season, he did not have more than 25 goal contribution.
But we keep on saying the stat is not enough.
Okay, we can agree that.
And say, yeah, your GA is not high, so you're crap. Look at the eye test. Grealish is the guy that Pep will bring on to draw fouls, to hug the ball,
stop the game.
Get kind of like keep possession of the ball. He knows how to drag players to himself. If you do that eye test, you cannot say Grealish did not really make that much of an impact in their treble season. I feel like maybe he was not an important piece, but he was.
He did well. He did well. He did well in the treble season.
Yeah.
But that is one season out of 4 seasons.
But you have to blame Pep. No, you have to blame Pep. Are you saying that Pep started Grealish and Pep just realized Grealish just wasn't good enough? Or is Pep like giving him instructions and telling him play this way?
Okay. For the purpose of this discussion, we can both agree that Grealish flopped in Man City.
I don't know, man.
He was excluded. They released their World Cup list today, and Grealish is not there.
Yeah, the Club World Cup.
Yes, so what are we saying? But if it's not, if the coach believes he's a flop or doesn't fit the system?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
it's the same thing we said for. It's the same thing we said
for. For example, Enzo Fernandez, right? If Pochettino still stayed at Chelsea, and Enzo was still giving the same performances he was giving during Pochettino's year at Chelsea, wouldn't you say that Enzo is a flop?
I would say it's a flop.
With which coming, who plays with Gravenberch and with in the midfield, McAllister or Szoboszlai, or we can have 4 of them play together? That is the biggest question. The biggest question now is which coming. Is Szoboszlai going to be on the bench?
Szoboszlai would not play. I don't think Szoboszlai will play.
But I just feel like Szoboszlai deserves to play though. Like Szoboszlai is not too bad.
Then who do you bench? You have to bench someone.
You cannot bench. Who you bench? The way
you can't bench.
Unless a slot changes to the 3-4-3. Unless that's what his plan is, to play 3-4-3. And in that sense, you play all 4. Like this person is saying, you play all 4 in that midfield. That's the only way. 3-4-3. It almost seems like that's the. Anyways, it doesn't make any sense to me.
No, you can't play 3-4-3. Not at all. I think Gravenberch is going to play. McAllister is going to play.
Is so important. If you play a 4-2-3-1, Gravenberch has to be in that double pivot.
Do you get?
Maka is so important.
He's good. So it's between Florian and Szoboszlai.
Unless Florian plays as a left winger.
So you are going to bench Gakpo. And
you bench Gakpo. If Florian is better, Florian feels more skillful.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Florian feels more techy. Unless Florian plays in that left wing, because people have been saying he can play left wing.
Anyway, that's an option.
If he plays left wing, that means Szoboszlai starts in that 10.
In the middle, yeah.
Well, I appreciate you, man. Thanks, man. Unless
Okay, okay.
unless you
Thanks.
have, then you can have like Soboslai as the 10, and
Yeah,
then you can speak between Luis Diaz and Gakpo as the 9.
exactly.
To
Yeah,
me, Gakpo
yeah.
doesn't fit the 9. That's what I'll say. Gakpo doesn't fit that 9.
So it's either so we're concluding. We're having this conclusion now. If he's to use all four, it means that Gakpo will be the one that will be axed from the team.
Maybe not Gakpo. Maybe I don't know.
Yes,
You know,
because he has
there was
you
this
play
ball.
you play left wing. That's what you
Mm-hmm,
just said. You play left wing. You have Soboslai in the 10, and you
mm-hmm,
have Gravenberch and Maka, right? So all four play.
mm-hmm.
Somebody has to leave. Somebody has to
Somebody
be on
has
the
to
bench.
leave. There were rumors of Bayern. I don't know if you guys heard this, but there was rumors of Bayern going for Gakpo, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know how those rumors went. We didn't hear anything from Einstein or
I don't think
Fabrizio.
Liverpool
So
wants to sell.
that doesn't really feel like a deal that's happening. But there was
No.
a buzz from Bayern. There was a buzz from Barcelona with Luis
Yeah.
Diaz. I
Yeah.
don't know how that buzz continued, but it felt like that buzz kind of died. So
Yeah.
we don't know. But we kind of had this instinct that maybe one of the two players will leave. And in that sense,
Yeah.
if one of those two players leave, I guess it makes sense to look for a way to make everybody fit, right? But at this
We'll,
point, like
we'll see
we don't know basically. What we basically have just to wait and see what and his slot
what
has
it does.
planned.
Yeah.
But I
And
definitely
maybe,
feel you might stick with a 4-2-3-1. And I
yeah,
really think that Florian might be the 10. That's what I think.
man, that would be crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways, an example is for players like that, if you
Mm-hmm.
play them on the wing, they'll still cook. But
Yeah.
it's better you play them through the middle. An example is Cole Palmer. On the wing,
Mm-hmm.
he cooks. On the right wing,
True.
Cole Palmer, in fact, I need a bomb for that. I need a bomb for that. You
Why?
understand?
Why? Yeah.
So, Cole
Okay, keep going.
Palmer cooks from the right hand side.
Yeah.
You get, but you are stifling, you are holding back that creativity.
Yeah.
Like, bro, if it's 10, you are unleashing the dragon, bro. Just go and do what you want to
You
do.
want Kopama to be your 10.
Keys to the team.
Yes.
Do you get?
Yeah.
And in 10 position, he can also go left wing. When he sees nothing is happening, he can drift there and do what he wants. He
But
can.
you want him to have that freedom to
Now,
roam. Mm-hmm.
yes, and since they started playing him as a 10, he drifts to the left, right. Anything he wants to do, he just does.
And I think that's what
Florian,
Florian might come in for.
yes. For 150 million, he should just be given the keys to the kingdom. Anyways, back to
Exactly.
our league. You understand?
Exactly.
So for Jack Kingsley, I can categorically tell you that
Don't do my boy Jack like that. Don't do my boy
he's a
Jack like
flop.
that. Okay,
He's flopped in City.
fair. He's a flop. For 100 million flop.
Yes,
Let's
he's
go.
flopped. So let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
Next on this list is 100 million again, Declan Rice.
Declan Rice is not a flop.
He's not a flop. So we can clearly
Absolutely not.
He's not a flop.
Declan,
Right?
no. The way he cooked Real Madrid.
No. Even if he did only that for 100 million.
The way he cooked Real Madrid.
We're all satisfied. Everyone is satisfied.
With those free kicks.
Anyways, we have Declan for
nah.
100 million. Perfect. The next person I have on this list, who is number 9, is our boy Moises Caicedo. He's not a flop.
The biggest question of the century.
He's not
a flop. Let's go in the chat if you think Caicedo is a flop. But
Caicedo is not a flop. Everybody in the chat can tell me this. He's not a flop.
I know.
Right?
I didn't watch enough Chelsea games to really assess Caicedo.
Oh my God.
Season, I'll be honest. I didn't watch enough Chelsea games to assess Caicedo. But the one game I watched, I was wow. This guy is your midfield. Your midfield is Caicedo. Imagine if Caicedo had come to Liverpool.
Oh, that would have been wickedness.
Imagine you have
Caicedo Gravenberch.
Caicedo Gravenberch.
And you now have Maka too.
Double pivot.
That would be
Maka as your 10.
Or you even use 3 of them.
You don't even need Florian.
Yeah.
You don't need Soboslai from the bench. You understand? But now
Yeah.
that Florian is coming in as 10, I guess Soboslai from the bench is not too bad as well. By the time you 60 minutes, take off Florian, bring in Soboslai, or take off Gakpo, bring in Soboslai, move Florian to the left wing,
Yeah.
Soboslai plays through the middle. I think definitely that, guys, it gives us enough. It gives us this very, very
It's
dynamic.
enough wiggle room.
It gives us enough wiggle room to move players to where we need them to. We need them to
Yeah.
be. But also, these dynamic players that we're bringing into the team is actually kind of good because you can mix up their positions. You have players that are so
Yeah.
versatile, they can play in different positions. It's a good thing. I think it's a really good thing.
Yeah.
Liverpool fans, be excited. Florian is coming. Here we go.
Here
Here
we go.
we go.
Kingsley,
Let's
so
go. Let's go.
the last man on this list
Is who?
is actually Florian Wirtz.
That is the
Yeah.
biggest question of the century. Will
So we'll
Florian
answer this
Wirtz
question
flop?
next year.
Will Florian Wirtz flop?
Yeah, we
What
don't know.
is a flop season for Florian? Florian comes to Liverpool. What will make you say he flopped?
I think we had this discussion when we had a lot of guys like Chevy. Chevy was on the live then.
Mm-hmm.
And I think our conclusion was we need at least.
Mm-hmm.
Chevy made a point.
Yeah.
He brought so many people up and said, if this guy can do this, if this guy can do this, we need 25 goal contribution, GA from him.
25
minimum
goals and assists. Mm-hmm.
in all competition. That's a bare minimum. Bare minimum.
Bare.
Anything below that is a flop.
For his first season in the EPL?
Yes.
You're not even going to give him
He
like
can
2
improve.
seasons.
No. See, listen to it. Someone flopping in his first season doesn't really mean. I can tell you that. I can actually tell you that Caicedo was a flop in the first 6 months in Chelsea.
Of course.
Yes. His first game because he
was
did penalty. The second game felt like it was just like a headless chicken running.
I remember Caicedo's first season at Chelsea, and the way I was hate watching.
I know. The whole world,
after he rejected Liverpool,
waiting for him to flop.
I was hate watching, and I was pleasantly satisfied. I was so happy with the way he was. What did he do? He caused a penalty or something.
It was bad.
Horrid.
He went on the next 5 games.
Horrid.
It was bad.
I was so happy. I'm like, yes, that's what he deserved. He didn't come to Liverpool. Yes.
Yeah.
But right now, yeah, definitely no. But I actually want to compare Szoboszlai's first season at Liverpool, because Szoboszlai, right?
Is this Szoboszlai's second season?
This is Szoboszlai. Yeah. Szoboszlai was there during. This is Szoboszlai's what? Second season, yeah, right? Second full season, because he was there during club season. You guys, let me know if I'm wrong. Szoboszlai has been at Liverpool for how long now?
Okay, check his GA.
He came during yeah, I'm right, 2 seasons. He came during club's last season.
Yeah.
In that season, Szoboszlai played 33 games, right? He had 3 goals and 2 assists in 33 Premier League games.
That's bad. He flopped.
That's not all. In all competitions, Szoboszlai, in his first season at Liverpool, he played. He had 55 appearances, and his GA that season was 16.
Damn.
10 goals, 6 assists, all competitions. And by the way, this all competitions I'm talking about Premier League, FA Cup.
Yeah, but the question is, was he playing further forward or was playing deep in the midfield?
Szoboszlai always plays attacking mid. He always plays attacking mid. And during club's time, okay, wait. During club's time, no club plays.
I think he was deep. He was deep.
Klopp was playing a 4-3-3, so he was more like a box to box.
Yeah.
Right? It was more like an 8. So he was always going forward, coming back. So I think Klopp plays with an 8 and a 6 and a 4. Right?
Yeah.
The 4 is the person that he wants to sit. That was Endo. The 8 box to box, Szoboszlai, and then the 6 was Maka. Maka was primarily playing like a 6. Guys, Liverpool are favourite to win the Premier League next season, especially with Wirtz signing. But which team will be our biggest challenges? Man City, Arsenal, or Chelsea? Oof.
I think all 3.
That's the question, because let's analyze that. If you look at City now, City have Reinders, City have Cherky, City have Rodri.
A lot of people.
City have signed people. They have Ryan Aït-Nouri coming in on their left back.
They're still going to sign a right back too.
They are still going to sign more signings coming for City, right?
Yeah,
Pep wants to rebuild that team. Pep went to get Pep Linders. We talked about this yesterday. He got Pep
yeah,
Linders to join his team, pressing
yeah,
specialist. I
yeah.
think City will be more powerful than they were this
More
season as it
deadly.
ended, and
Yes.
more deadly. They are
Yeah.
getting away all the old heads. Kyle
Yeah.
Walker is
Getting
going.
them
De
out. Yeah.
Bruyne, all of them.
Yeah.
Even Gundogan, it's open to selling Gundogan too.
Yeah.
Gundogan is
So,
leaving. So City
and remember,
for
I
sure.
told you that they spent close to 320 million in six
So
months, and they're
far.
still going to spend more. You
More.
get
And
so that
remember, they have Doku, they have Savinho,
good,
they have all
good.
these boys.
Grealish is
And
also leaving. So
really,
many people are going, right?
Foden, if
Then you
Foden
talk of,
catches his form, it's
yeah.
going to kind of be a problem, right? So City
You
will be
talk of
through for
Arsenal
sure.
too.
I feel
Yeah.
like you cannot get into a Premier League season and not say City is favored to win the Premier League title. Because last
Good.
season is not enough to judge
No.
City.
Yeah.
Last
Yeah.
season
Yeah.
was just a transition season for them.
Yeah.
Whatever. Arsenal, they're also signing people. Zubimendi here.
So
We
we do
go.
strong midfield. Winger, left winger is coming. We don't know who he's going to be.
We don't know.
And
I
his
don't know
striker is
if it's.
coming.
I don't know. I think it's between Chelsea or Arsenal. Nico Williams. One of the two wants to sign Nico Williams.
Sign
I
him.
think it's
Yeah. Yeah.
strongly Chelsea, right? But you have
Strongly Arsenal, I'll say. He's Spanish, so he goes to Arsenal.
okay, fair.
Ateta has a
So
way of signing
Ateta,
Spanish
maybe
players.
Ateta gets Nico
Yeah.
Williams. He can
Yeah.
drop. Imagine Bukayo Saka on the right wing, Nico
And Nico
Williams
Williams
on
on
the
the
left.
other side. With Sesko through the middle.
Oh my days!
Good. So you
If Arsenal don't win a trophy next season, sack Ateta.
yes, I think that's his last season.
He has to go.
That's his last season.
He has to go. If
And
Arsenal don't win something
yeah.
with these people that they have, Ateta
Yeah.
has to go. He has to go.
And,
But
Chelsea now have added Santos in the midfield. They want to sign a good goalkeeper. They are going to sign a striker.
yeah,
They've signed a striker already. They want to add another one.
Who wants Gyökeres?
Gyökeres they're having an issue. The sporting director, I think last season, they had a gentleman's agreement with the agents.
Yeah.
Initially he had maybe a release clause of about 100 million.
Oh,
everybody was hands off, like, oh, I'm not touching that.
Yeah.
But the agent sat with the sporting director and they all talked.
They're able to.
And there was a gentleman's agreement in quotes that he'll be free to go for 65 million. I'm like, bro, when has gentleman's agreement ever worked in football?
5 million.
Yes. And the funny thing, now the sporting director is looking at it and now saying, like today, he came out and said he can't collect 65 million. It has to be more than that.
Of course.
I'm not asking. So
somebody scored 63 plus goals in a season.
His word now is, oh, I'm not asking for 100 million, but at the same time, I want more than 65. So what do you want? Today, Gyökeres removed Sporting from his profile because he was angry. Yes.
He wants to go.
He removed them. So Man you keep calling, and so what we see.
Oh,
so,
Man you want Gyökeres. Okay, that makes sense. Man you are the one in the running for Gyökeres.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Chelsea now, they're adding it. They want to add a new goalkeeper. We'll see how that turns out. Minion, if it's not a flop.
Imagine Liverpool gets Gyökeres.
No, don't wish that, please. That's cheating. That's wickedness.
Who will stop us?
That's wickedness.
I dare you. Who will?
That's wickedness.
You think Salah's assist double digits will not be promised?
Don't say Gyökeres to Liverpool.
Salah could almost get.
I don't want to think of that. In fact, it should be illegal. At this point, it should be illegal for
Liverpool. Here we go.
No. Gyökeres should go to Man U. Yes. Yeah. So you have Chelsea adding another striker, 2 strikers, a goalkeeper, and they want to sign a left winger. They want to sign badly because they have
I strongly heard that Nico Williams is coming to Chelsea. I don't know where I heard this rumor from, but I heard that you guys were
we discussed with him. The problem is the wages.
How much does he want? 250.
He wants like 300,000.
Nico wants Nico, you're just 23 or 22. Yeah. Like, relax.
The thing is that Atletico Bilbao, they get most of their players from academy, so they pay them big money.
Oh, okay.
Because it's free, right? So they don't really have like a huge transfer
cost and stuff. Yeah, but like going back to
answer your question, I think Man City, Arsenal, and Chelsea are all going to be title contenders.
For sure.
Yes. In fact, all four are going for the title.
There's an expectation.
To the end.
Yeah.
So that's it. So it's going to be real fight. And Guardiola knows. Guardiola knows. That's why he got Pep Linders.
And he wants it.
The tide changes.
Yes.
Bro, change your tactics, Pep Linders. Why are you added to this equation? Can we go more attacking? We're playing against the former side, Liverpool. Let's move on.
Man, it's good to see Pep Linders in the league. Let me give him a bomb, man. Pep Linders, man, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to the EPL. We are prepared to see some pressing tactics, some one or two things. We are prepared to see you cook. Pep Linders coming back to the EPL is actually nice. It would be nice to see. Although he's on the side of the enemy,
of the
rivals.
The noisy neighbors.
He's on the side of the rivals, and we'll boo him when it comes to Anfield. But anyways, it's nice to see.
Why would you guys boo him?
Oh, of course not. Of course not. It's Pep Linders.
So, anyways,
the legend.
So let's conclude this discussion. Out of how many players being bought for 100 million? 10 of them.
Out of 10, yeah.
One is just new. Florian Wirtz is new, right? We have the
I know, right? What are the chances of Liverpool signing Alexander Isak? If they get him, the game is over for that. It is over. OVR in capital letters.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And that's what, Kingsley, that's what I said. I said, if you ask me to pick Florian Wirtz or Isak,
but Newcastle will not sell us Isak. They have Champions League football. Do they really let Isak go?
No,
they have Champions League football.
They won't, but there's nothing money cannot do.
But Isak will be going for 150 million.
Again, that would be too much.
Or 120 million. How much do you guys think Isak could go for? Like, Isak could be going
I think 120 minimum. Because they bought him for 70-something million. They bought Isak for 70-something million, right?
They are outrageously expensive. Like, Isak is a striker that gives you 20 plus goals. So, like, in fact, let me actually tell you guys Isak's GA, so that we don't like just
we don't speculate.
Out speculate exactly. We don't just say things out of the air. Let me actually tell you, Isak last season in the Premier League in 34 games had 23 goals and 6 assists.
Oh,
like what?
That's 29 GA
in the whole season in 48 appearances. Isak scored 32 goals and he had 8 assists in 48 appearances. Isak is a player that he easily can have Ballon d'Or shouts. Let me tell you.
I'm telling you.
Isak easily can have Ballon d'Or shouts. I'm telling you. It's just that he's at Newcastle. And I don't know if there are Newcastle fans there. I'm not trying to like.
No. We have Newcastle fans.
I don't want to smoke, but it's Newcastle. If it was at a bigger team, trust me, given this amount, this GA, me and you both know that Isak could be in the Ballon d'Or shouts.
Yeah, we know. But if Isak, like that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I said. I said it would have been better for you guys to go and sign like an Isak with Aaron Sheki.
Even the season before this season, 30 appearances, he had 21 goals.
That's brutal.
Isak is giving you 20 plus goals. Season. Or in a season in form, you're getting 20 plus goals. That's insane.
Yeah, that's madness, actually. Yep. What are your final thoughts?
Man, it's crazy, man. It's really crazy. I think Florian to Liverpool definitely is a move that is quite expensive. He can go both ways. It can have a huge backlash if Florian does not live up to expectations. But it can be something that's really amazing. FSG, they're just a side that don't want to spend. They always keep holding back. They refuse to spend. But it's nice to see FSG actually spending.
Yeah,
I know 150 million is a lot. Personally, Florian, I would have said 120 million.
Perfect. If it was 120.
150 million just feels like it's too pricey. But at the end of the day, Florian, people keep saying it. He's a generational talent. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. And I feel the same way. I feel like he's going to come to the team. And I'm happy that he's not coming some mid-season type of thing where they just throw him into the game and then things are just happening left and right. I like the fact that he's coming, before the start of the next season. He has a pre-season with the team. he adjusts well with the pace and the intensity of based on how the other players play in training. And I think going into the season, Florian should, like you said, 25 plus GA. If he's not giving 25 plus GA, he's a flop in that season. And that is the truth. There's just no two ways about it. But what I'm looking forward to the most is for Liverpool to go into the market and get a striker. Doesn't have to be too expensive. Just make him Premier League proven, and I'm okay.
Final thoughts for me. Florian alone is not enough for Liverpool to win this title. You just mentioned, Liverpool needs a striker plus Florian.
Yes,
they are good with Gyökeres too, with the Cockers, right? You guys are ready for the season, right?
SSB, we're about to dip, and you're coming into the live. We're about to dip.
My God!
We're talking about Florian to Liverpool, and we're just talking about how Florian has Florian is false nine. You think he's false nine? You really think Florian will play false nine?
I don't think so.
Interesting. I don't really think so. False I don't know, nine. But it could be. If Liverpool don't sign an actual striker, I think Florian plays false nine. And I think it could be okay.
But that will not be enough for you guys to win the title.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. No.
I think it would be enough. I think it would be enough if we can get those proper reinforcements, like Kekes coming in on that left back. We have a solid defense. Alisson can give us a good season, world-class keeper and things. I think we can compete for some trophies. We can become title contenders.
Oh, dear. I didn't watch the game. Just highlight. Yeah, just highlight.
What happened? Tell us before we did.
He ended up being 1-1. Red card to Enzo Fernandez.
Wow, I saw the red card. I saw the red card to Enzo Fernandez, but I didn't think it was that heated. It was really heated yesterday, right?
It was. I think it was.
It's Mamouche. I know.
Yeah,
guys, Mamouche. I came on the live and I was like, Mamouche is not all that. He's not going to.
You remember? He said he was getting
flop. I was wrong. Mamouche, man, that guy scares me too. This is something about Egyptian players, man. Crazy. But having another Egyptian player that's going to cook, check it will either be massive success or flop.
Exactly.
100%. There's no in between.
Yeah, for Sheikh, I think
either he comes in and he cooks, or he's just going to flop.
He said, "Do you guys rate Hugo Ekitike? Would it be a good signing for?
I don't know.
For Liverpool,
I've just not done enough eye tests.
I think it was SSB that said he's giving the vibe of like Isak. That's what most people are comparing him to, right? But the money is too much, 100 million.
I've not done, honestly speaking, guys, I've not done the eye test on Ekitike to really know if it's that good.
And most of these highlights are deceiving.
Yeah, highlights are deceiving, guys. And I just know stats of Ekitike. Like, I just see his GA, but I've not watched enough of him at Frankfurt to really rate him. Because me, I don't like just looking at stats. I like seeing stats. Yeah, okay, you have the stats, but also doing the eye test and be like, this player is dangerous. Someone like Isak, right? We've done it. You see the stats, you see the eye test, right? We all remember that one highlights reel of Isak when he was cooking like 4 or 5 defenders on the byline, carried them and still assisted.
I watched that game. I remember.
Ever since then,
the memory is still in my head. He just went like this straight.
He acted like he was going like this. He turned around, he cooks them, and still assisted. People even celebrated the assist more than the goal. So, since then, I'm just like, this guy is dangerous.
But if Liverpool is willing to, I think Liverpool kind of entertained Hugo Ekitike, like discussion. They entered discussion to find out about the price, the condition of the deal. FSG, they don't just spend money.
They don't. They're actually
because you remember, FSG was ready to spend 115 for Caicedo
because they knew
there was a player there, and for his age, you were willing to throw that amount, right? So FSG, for them to be looking at Ekitike, is an excellent player. right? Because they hardly make
But
mistake.
who do you think will get him though?
We don't know.
That was the gangster. I trust him. Who wouldn't?
We
Who
don't.
wouldn't?
We don't
Who
know who will
wouldn't,
get
man?
him. We don't know.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know who's going to get him. Yeah, I don't know who's going to get him. But anyways, so what are your did you give your final thoughts?
Yeah, I gave my final. I said Florian is not enough for Liverpool. You
Mm-hmm.
guys need a striker. That's my final thoughts. Right? And
Okay.
I'll add this one. Out of 10, okay, 9, okay, let's say 10, but adding Florian to the prestigious £100 million people.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Out of all 10, how many people did we count as flops? Coutinho, Joao
Mm-hmm.
Felix,
Yeah.
Griezmann,
Yeah.
Jack Grealish.
Mm-hmm.
4 of them,
Yeah.
right? Out of 9 that we know,
Mm-hmm.
flops. Do you get? So that's about half. So we hope
Yeah.
that
Now that you have all these goal scorers, maybe Liverpool will be leaving games with like 6-0, 7-0. Let me not say anything. Let me not jinx next season, guys. Let me not jinx next season.
this
A lot of
Salah,
Liverpool
I
fans
don't
will
think
start.
Salah might not score much again. That's what
Yeah,
he's saying.
maybe a lot of assists than I would say goals, but you never can tell. Egyptian king, he might just decide a lot of competition. Maybe let me up my game. Maybe start scoring some goals. He had a crazy last season. I don't know if he's going to be able to live up to it next season,
Yeah.
but we'll see. Anyway, big up to you guys that join our chat. We appreciate you guys. We're live every day, 6 p.m. CST.
Yeah.
You guys
SFP,
make sure you join our live.
Brady,
We're always talking about football every single day.
Mandy, 747, Ahmed,
We
Azak,
appreciate you guys. We appreciate all those guys.
Lucas.
You guys, if you've not already done so, subscribe to our channel. We're on the road to 3,000 subscribers, 3K. Get us there, you guys. Let's get there. Let's get there. We're grinding together. And don't forget, June 20, we're back. If you're new on our live, we're back June 20. Chelsea versus Flamengo, Club World Cup. We're having a special stream that day. My brother, Chelsea fan, he got challenged by some Flamengo Brazilian fans. And they said Chelsea is a small club. We're going to find out June 20 if really Chelsea is a small club or not.
We'll see.
You guys will see. Well, I appreciate you guys. Make sure you
Thanks
guys
for coming.
subscribe. And thank you guys for joining our live. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 6 p.m. CST.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Ciao.